So today I'm going to be talking about the Torchlight curriculum. Now, when I first stumbled upon it, I didn't get it. I didn't get it because I have boys. I have 3 boys. And then I thought about it, and I read through the samples, and I really liked it. Now, just so you know, it's a secular curriculum, so they do talk about witches, they talk about gods and goddesses and things like that. It's literacy based, so there's a ton of books that you buy to read. So if your kids like to read or you like to read, well, then this might be the curriculum for you. Now, right off the top, it doesn't come with spelling. It doesn't come with any language. It doesn't come with any spelling, and it doesn't teach your kids to spell, and it doesn't teach them to read. Okay, so it is literacy based, but I find, especially at the grade 1 level, that I'm reading the books to my kids. So now it also doesn't come with a math curriculum either. It recommends Right Start Math. Right Start Math is also very pricey. So when you really look at this curriculum, you'll see that even though it's only $40 to buy, there's a lot of elements you have to add on to that, right? First, the books. Now they do have some substitution if you can't find the books, but you're reading about, I want to say 7 to 10 books every week with your kids. And then there's some questions to answer for some of those books. Now, a few of the books you can get at the library, and a couple of them you can get used, but some of them are new and you can only buy new. So it's up to you if you really want to invest that money. I didn't get all the books because I'm not going full on curriculum, but I've read through it all, and let me tell you what I love about it. First of all, okay, so where was I? I don't know, but let me just keep going. So it also recommends a science component, the Be Naturally Curious science component, and I did buy one of the modules, they have a lot of study units, and I did buy one of them because I wanted to see what it was like. Now at $10 a unit, it's a little pricey if you ask me, because a lot of those things, you can get a lot of homeschool study units for about $5 on Etsy. I find around that price point, so I do think it's a touch expensive, but it does have good information. Now you can also get that information from books depending on, what exactly you're studying. So on the screen, I'll show you the science curriculum that they recommend, which is Be Naturally Curious. I'll show you the DNA thing. That's the unit that I purchased. It's about $25. No, it's about 25 pages, and it was $10 to buy. So now they do have a bundle for Torchlight people. So that bundle is $50. Now, so it does have good information in it, but an alternative to that would be Elemental Science. It's also secular, and I like it because it's literacy based, and you can just get the books if you want, the series, the books, and read them to your kids, and I'm reading them to my kids and they seem to enjoy them, or you can go more in depth with that. So that's something I would consider maybe switching out. Another thing is the math. Like the math is Right Start Math. It's a mastery math, which I like. I like mastery. Saxon math is Spiral. What you learned in school growing up was Spiral, and I like mastery. It's easy for me to teach. It's easy for me because I'm learning it as well, so I find it just easier, the setup. And you can always go back and review, which is what Spiral is, right? Spiral's like you learn a bit, then you go back and review, learn something new, go back and review something old, and stuff like that. It's too much for my mind. I prefer just straight on, like let's learn this till we master it, and then let's go on to the next. So an alternative to the Right Start Math, which is it's along the same lines and a little less expensive, would be Math with Confidence. So I've ordered Math with Confidence, but it hasn't come in yet, so I can't wait to check it out. Right now we're using Math Mammoth, which is also a mastery one and also very good, but I just wanted to check out a little bit more games-based one just to see what it's like. And that's the thing with Right Start, is it's like you're 30 minutes a day putting in that time. So that at least with the Math with Confidence, it's like 15 minutes, so it's a little less, which I liked. Now, back to Torchlight. Let's see. So they don't have a spelling or a reading program. They do recommend foundations. I like all about reading, but that's just me. I like all about reading. But what they do have is a spell book, and in the spell book's really interesting. I like it because you get some bigger words that, it's vocabulary. So you get some bigger words that you're not going to learn how to spell per se. Normally you wouldn't, not in a spelling program, but like archaeology and these words that are they're high quality words. So everything about Torchlight is really thought out. They really sat down and thought out what's going on. And what's cool is that I believe it's in the spell book, pardon me, I believe it's in the spell book, is the assignment. it's like a year-long assignment, 36 weeks, I think it is, but so I'll just say a year, but it's a year-long assignment where your child is building a civilization. So my son was pretty excited about that. Now, like I said, I'm Christian, but it didn't really bother me when he was like, I was like, can you think of some gods or goddesses that the people can pray to? Because back then they didn't pray to God, they prayed to gods and goddesses. So what do you think, right? And so he's like, the god of fire, and he wants, the gods of elements. And I was like, that's cool, sure. So we did that. Now, he's not writing yet, so I'm doing the writing, but it's very minimal writing. I think with the book selections too, that Charlotte Mason would be proud of these book selections because they're pretty well thought out. Now, I haven't gotten all the books, again, because I'm not going full core. There's two elements I like about this. I like that exercise I just told you about, because it's like step one is, hey, pick a place on the globe where your civilization's going to grow and expand and be, and things like that. So it's a creative thinking, problem solving type of curriculum, and that's what I love about it. And the other element that I really love is there's these journal entries, and I'll show you them on the screen as well. And what it is you're decoding. You have a decoder, and you and your child are going to sit down and decode the hieroglyphic messages as you go through the weeks. And I just think that is super cool. So right there alone, I totally think it's worth the $40 for that. Now, it does have an element where any book you read through the program, it's got like, I forget what they call it, but it's got in-depth questions and about that book. So really stimulating the thinking and conversation and stuff. So I do like that. I don't like that there's a ton of different books, and the science program, it's pretty good. And Naturally Curious is good. I just think, but I like elementary science, elemental science. So it's just, it depends on your preference. And I do have a video where I review a bunch of science curriculums. And right after this video, I'm going to film another one just in depth about the sunlight one, which I get is Christian. So if you're watching this, it's probably not going to be your thing. And I didn't care for the sunlight anyway, just a side note, just because it's so grand. Okay, so that is my review of Torchlight. I would say kind of as a criticism, but again, I think it's a really good curriculum, is ages. So it says it's ages 6 to 8 for level 1. I would disagree with that. I would say, if you're doing it with them, then yeah, sure. But I almost think it just push it up a little bit, but it says you can wait a bit. So at least for my boys, I would wait a little bit and maybe push them up to 7. But again, I'm doing it with them. So, sitting here and planning out a civilization, I think it's just such a cool concept. And the story that comes with it, where they're decoding about a girl that goes on archaeological digs. I want to say with her uncle, but it may be with her father. I can't remember at the moment. I think it's awesome. So there you go. That's my review for boys of the curriculum. So hopefully that gives you something to think about. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like to like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit the bell for notifications.